The game is mine. The game is mine. The game is mine.
But right now, like I said at the onset of the show, y'all see who I'm with right here? If you're still sleeping, if you don't know about Game Speed Performance Academy, you probably slow. You not winning no medals. You not starting. You on the bench. You know, you got to step your game up. And I got somebody right here with me that can help you.
The right speed.
That's right, Coach Antonio Coleman.
Yeah.
What's up, Coach Coleman?
What's going on? How you feeling tonight?
Oh, I'm
I
fantastic.
see you got your 9. Are you about to swing some things?
You know what, Coach? I'm going to tell you something, man.
Just out there knocking them 200 yards.
200 yards?
Yeah, at least.
Thanks for answering the question for me. No, I wasn't out there, Coach.
Because he didn't know how many yards he's supposed to be.
No, Coach. No, I'm going to tell you the real deal, Coach. You know, this was early on in one of my first shows. It was really used to kill the nerves and remember my monologue.
Okay.
But then I started getting questions from around the world, actually, about what it meant. And then I had to stop and think, why I could have grabbed anything.
Right.
I didn't really need to grab anything. So I had to think about, why did I grab a golf club? And I started thinking about it. You know, whenever you think of somebody on a golf course, they got time and money in their favor. So it's just a reminder to keep time and money in my favor and not take anything for granted. The show, the people that come on the show.
Absolutely.
And every minute.
And it's specifically a 9-iron because that's where you hit the ball the longest.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Right.
See, you need these, intellectually inclined guys that know around you, because I don't know. I ain't gonna even act like I know. Now, Coach Coleman.
Yes, sir.
Game Speed Performance Academy.
Yes, sir.
Now, I know that you focus on increasing the speed of an athlete. Am I right?
Yes, that's the focus of increasing the speed, but when I say increase the speed, we're increasing the performance. And so speed is not just linear, meaning that's going back and forth. And when people think of speed, that's what they think of. But speed encumbers everything that we do when it comes to sport, because I have to move in multidirectional, linear speed. I have to move backwards. And then what's one of the most important is accelerating upward. So all those encumber speed. When we talk about speed, so when we say Game Speed Performance Academy, we mean game speed, moving at game speed.
Now, I got to ask the obvious question. Antonio, are you fast?
Well, I used to be. I'm 48 years old now.
Okay. Are you fast for 48?
For 48, I believe I'm pretty fast.
Okay.
I have yet to race. Last time I raced my son, I beat him. He's 14 years old. He's getting pretty fast. So
fathom that. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, 14.
Yeah.
That's a young horse. You know what I mean? Young thoroughbred out the gate.
Yeah.
And you were able to beat him in a race?
But I just had a procedure done with my Achilles, so I haven't been doing a lot of sprinting and stuff like that lately. And he's constantly getting faster. The other day he ran one of his fastest times in the flat 20. And I said, Dag, when I come back, I may not be able to beat this young man. It was 2.1. Which is, 14 years old is decent. I got kids that run under 2, run 9, 1.9, 1.8, things like that. Yeah, I got kids that run faster than that. But I mean, he's coming along, and he's real lanky. He's kind of a little goofy. He ain't coming to himself yet.
Well, we're already talking about your son, Antonio, but you look just as young. You know what I mean? Now, are you an athlete?
Absolutely.
Were you
But you're an athlete too.
Okay, we're gonna get into that because.
Yeah.
I can feel that. I received that. I can give that some energy.
Yep.
Did you play organized sports coming up?
Absolutely. I played. I ran track. I ran cross country. I played football. When I was younger, I even played a little soccer, a little baseball. I kind of had my hands in a lot of little things, and then I started to gear more towards track as I got older, and got me a track scholarship to Ashland University.
When you were young, who encouraged you to run track? Because obviously they felt that you could do it.
There wasn't an encouragement, I would say, of a person. It was that I saw my older brother running, and I'm the youngest of three boys. And so I was the youngest, and my father really wasn't around at that particular time. And so I looked up to my brothers. And so whatever my brothers did, I wanted to do. They played football, I wanted to play football. They ran track, I wanted to run track. And so when I seen my brother running track, I said, you know what, I can do that too. And then once I started to become good at it and started seeing some progress, and seeing myself having some results, then I just fell in love with it.
Were you open to your coaches then that were trying to help you with pointers and tips on increasing your endurance and just, really maximizing your training?
I believe that's why I became a pretty good coach, is because I was coachable.
Okay.
The things is, I always listened. I always wanted to become better. I always was the kid that stayed out the practice and asked the extra questions, asked what books can I read, asked whatever I can do for me to get better. So I believe those are the things that the attributes that I acquired then is what I use right now when I coach others.
Now, when you were playing these organized activities coming up, and you said you had your hand in numerous things, were you any good?
Absolutely. I mean, I was an athlete. I was definitely an athlete. So whatever I basically
any college potential, or did you?
Yeah, I went to college.
Okay.
I went to college. I had mentioned earlier that I went to the University of Toledo. I went to Ashland University, then I transferred to the University of Toledo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Went to Ashland, then you went to Toledo.
Correct.
For what sport?
Track and field.
For track and field. Yeah. Now, who are some of the have you worked with any story programs in the city as far as helping student athletes? Have you done that type of thing?
What do you mean by story athletes?
Student athletes.
Student athletes, absolutely. I mean,
at story programs like Glenville is a storied high school.
Okay, so you
it's
say
got
Glenville.
Stars that went to the NFL.
Yeah. I had, I'm not going to necessarily take the credit for, actually coaching, a lot of those guys, because Glenville has a very good program. But I'm coaching some young men right now that go to Glenville on their speed and hurdling and things like that, because that's one of my specialties is teaching hurdles. Ted Ginn Jr. Ran on my Midwest Meet the Champions team, and he did. He very well. I always tease Ted every time I see him. I say, man, you could have been a world-class track and field athlete, but I guess he didn't do too bad. He's a pro athlete in football.
So he ran on one of your squads?
No, he ran for Glenville, but what happened was when the seniors, after they graduate, I go and I recruit them to run at the Midwest Meet the Champions to meet right after the state meet. And so he ran in that meet, and he ran I believe he ran the 400.
What would be the purpose of something like that?
That's to get so the Midwest Meet of Champions is
Midwest what?
Midwest Meet of Champions.
Okay, Midwest Meet of Champions.
That was when all of the seniors from Ohio will go against the seniors from Michigan, Indiana, and Pennsylvania. And so then our best seniors will go against their best seniors.
And you would help to organize these events?
Yeah, I would organize that. And when we was there, we won.
Like what? You and several other people from the States?
Several other coaches. Yeah, several other coaches. Yep. Okay. And we will organize that. And we won, I think it was like 5 years in a row.
So hold on, fathom that. That tell you right then and there, we're not reinventing the wheel. We know what we're doing at game speed.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. I mean, it's so many things that at game speed that's unique. And I don't necessarily say that because I know other people have other programs that are pretty good, but my stuff is unique. And the reason why I say unique is that I start from the feet up, meaning that when you come to train with me, you're going to take your shoes off. I want to see how your feet move. I'm going to see how your big toe plants to the ground, because that's how you push off and become faster. So
real deal.
So I want you to start training with your feet first, because that's your foundation. Yeah. And so we want to also that encumbers Game Speed Performance Academy, but that is the foundation right there. Is your feet.
Not tell me, Coach, because okay, so you went on to college, you did track and field in college. Mm-hmm. Normally, that's not really a professional thing. Unless it's the Olympics or something. But outside of that, it's like
you use it to get an education. Oh, I tell kids all the time. The kids that I train, you're not going to necessarily go to the Olympics or the pros, but if you can use your legs to pay off $300,000 to $400,000, because that's what 4 years of university is going to cost you. With all the travel and everything that you got to do, it's going to cost you about $400,000. So right now, you got $400,000 legs. That's what I tell the kids.
Great point, Coach.
And so now you're going to use that to get at least education. Now, if you become a pro, fine. But if you don't, you now have an education to fall back on. Off your athletic ability.
So was that kind of like the thinking that was going on in your own mind coming up?
Absolutely not. what I teach the kids now. See, I learned from my mistakes.
Okay.
I learned from my mistakes.
Okay.
So when we got to college,
Uh-huh.
what, you didn't take the track and field as serious? Or?
Yeah, I took track and field serious, but I took also that word serious too. I thought I was a player.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I thought I was a player too. I thought I can, be with multiple women and do my thing and try to get some money on the side and do all those things. I was a young black man from the city of Cleveland, and I was just trying to get my hustle on.
Right. Okay. All right. And so those other sports just fell by the wayside.
I always had a love for it, but the first thing that I had to do was get some money in my pocket because I had to take care of myself. I had a mother at home that I needed to take care of, things like that. So it wasn't necessarily me trying to get to the Olympics or anything like that. I wanted to make sure that I can get money. So I actually dropped out of college at first, and I actually started working for Chrysler. And I worked for Chrysler for 14 years. And I came back to this because this is something that, I don't know how spiritual everybody is, but it was very spiritual for me. That I prayed about it and asked God about what I needed to do in order for me to be successful. And he put me in a position that I would do things that I love to do when I get up in the morning instead of just getting up and hating what I do.
Now, I was catching up to speed with you, man. You said you were coming up, you were athletic, you ran the track and field, you did take it serious, and then, you tried to do the, play around a little bit, and then you got serious. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when you got serious, what you say, well, I'm going to take some of these principles and lessons I learned in training, and I'm going to teach the youth underneath me. Is that what happened or what?
Yeah, I was actually, when I was working at Chrysler, like I said, I worked there for 14 years. I was actually volunteering and helping people. I was actually started coaching at Bedford, and then I coached at...
While you were working at Chrysler?
Fathom that. Wasn't getting paid to do it.
The passion.
Yeah, so I had a passion for it. I started working at Twinsburg High School, started training at Twinsburg.
How did you land that gig? What, you went to the principal, hey, I want to help the kids?
No, not at all. I mean, like I told my wife, I said I had to put together a resume and everything like that. I can't remember the last time I filled out an application. The jobs was just handed to me. But at that particular job, I was actually training myself because I was going to train and running the masters and things like that. And I seen some young girls that were up at Twinsburg, and I said they was trying to go over hurdles. I said I can show you how to do that. So I started teaching them how to go over the hurdles, and the coach just so happened to be there, and he wasn't a hurdle coach, he was a throws coach. And he said, man, I need your help. He said, how would you think about, coming and helping out? I said, well, absolutely. And then that's when I started volunteering at first, and then they started paying me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did it take a while to pay you, or?
About a year.
About a year?
Mm-hmm.
No, fathom that. A year. Put in a year's work without getting paid.
Off the passion and the love for what you do. Mm-hmm. And so, what's some of the things these students were coming back and saying to you in regards to the training you were giving them?
Oh, they was just ecstatic, man. They were just like, I never had results like this before. I never thought that I can become this strong, become this fast. I was always getting injured before. Now I'm not. It was just so many different things. But I just coached them more than just on the level of just athleticism. I coached them from the neck up. And I made sure that I was instilling in them that confidence that they needed and that integrity, honor, respect. I was instilling those type of things in them because I don't use no type of profanity. When I kids, I raise my voice a little bit, but I never use any type of derogatory language or profanity or anything like that because I believe that if I lead by example, then they won't do it as well. So I think that using profanity and things like that. I mean, some people do it, and I'm not kicking nobody that does it or whatnot, but I believe that we should.
So you're not the Marine drill instructor?
Nah. I believe you should use your vocabulary.
Okay, yeah. And you get
absolutely,
and you get the most out of people doing that.
Yes, you do.
Now, you said you were at Chrysler. Mm-hmm. Now, there were a particular time that You've reached out to entrepreneur organizations, people like Jumpstart?
Absolutely.
How did you get... Now, Jumpstart, for all those who don't know, they're an entrepreneur body that, like I said at the onset of the show, they basically help people with venture capital, investment capital, business, marketing strategies, and the like. And, my man right here from Game Speed Performance Academy, Antonio, he's no stranger to Jumpstart. So how did you get hip to Jumpstart Incorporated?
There was actually a young lady that her name is Kevin Gilmore. And Kevin he had said that you should get a part of a part of the Jumpstart program. I didn't know anything about it. It is a nonprofit organization that helps with jump starting a particular business or whatnot. And so when I had went and I had like a day to apply for it. I applied for it and I became one of the finalists. So out of 90 people applications, I was dwindled down to 10. And out of those 10, I was dwindled down to 5. And I was one of the 5 to be able to go into the Jumpstart program and take advantage of basically learning how to run a business. Because before then, I was just working a job.
So they helped you get into this business frame of mind, being this business person.
Absolutely.
With what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Did that give you a whole new sense of what you were trying to accomplish with Game Speed? Did it give you did it broaden your horizon?
Broaden my horizons with everything, man. I mean, like I said, I give a lot of credit to Jumpstart. Also to Larice Purnell at CLE. They helped me with, getting my business together, my accounting, and all that kind of stuff like that together.
CLE did?
CLE, yes, absolutely.
Wow. Pick up on that. It's a question? Yeah, you got a question, Antonio.
Mic check. So, do you believe that being, does it, a student that comes in, a person that comes in, and they're not really like an athlete,
Yeah.
and can you turn them into a superstar athlete, build up their mass, build up their body mass, make them into like, kind of like mold them into a beast, like from a scrawny dweeb. Say come in and, be like, well, I want to be turned into this super athlete. I want to be able to run the 40 in 1.9. Have you ever had somebody come to you?
I tell people all the time, I'm a coach, not a magician. So the thing is that you have to bring something to the table. Real true story. I call her my daughter. Her name is Anaja Troutman. Okay, she came to me. She was 14 years old, 5 foot nothing, 100 and nothing, and she said, "Coach, I want to go to the Olympics and I want a Division I scholarship." And I said, "Okay." She wrote it down and gave it to me. And said, "Okay, so you got to put in some work." The first day she came to me, I put her through a workout. She threw up, and then she came back and wiped her mouth off and said, "What's next?" I knew right then she had the will to be able to do whatever she wanted to do. 4 years later, she got a Division I scholarship to Ball State. She's at Ball State right now.
Yeah.
She's at Ball State right now.
That's awesome. Fathom, that's amazing.
Last year she was number 5. She was ranked number 5, and she ended up number 4 in the MAC.
So you got people that's already like in shape and things like that you deal with, but have you had somebody that was failing in school, and then they came to work out, and they start doing better in school?
That's every day.
or in everyday life, like their skills getting sharper, and they balance is better and things like that.
In case you don't know, I was the head coach at Warrensville Heights High School, and I had
what sport?
Track and field.
Okay.
And I had a lot of young men who I came across, man. That one in particular, and I don't know if he's watching or not. This is when I don't know if I could I say the name?
Yeah.
All right. Corian Henry. Corian, and he know it. That boy was a hellion. He just constantly cussing all the time, cussing out all the teachers, everything like that, because his father, he never seen his father before.
Right.
And so when I was talking to him or trying to mentor him, I tried to step in and try to fill that void a little bit. So when I told the teachers that whenever Corian messes up, call me. And so they would, and I would show up to the school, sit in class with him, and make sure. So he was this kid, and then the very next year after that, Corian had ran track with me. I kicked him off the team about 3 or 4 times, but I always told him. I go see him in the hallway. I'd be like, "Come back today," and I make sure because I knew that he needed some discipline.
Right.
And Corian ended up being a 3.5 student.
Wow.
Went on merit roll, and then Corian ended up. All the teachers kept coming to me. They said, "I don't know what you did with this young man. He ain't cussing nobody out no more. He's taking care of his business. He's doing what he's supposed to do in his class, and he's becoming a phenomenal athlete." He just told me the other day that he got a scholarship offer in the mail, and that he's going up for a college visit.
Coach, that's got to be gratifying, man. It's satisfying to you, man, to impact lives, young lives that were rudderless, directionless. You come in, You give them some guidance, you give them some hope, you give them some inspiration, then all of a sudden they start selling in a great direction. That's got to put wind in your sails and make you feel good and wake up every day chomping at the bit at what you do.
That is one of the reasons why I love what I do. But it just don't work for what we call people, the kids that are, minorities or things like that. I mean, I've coached girls from Hathaway Brown.
Okay.
And they, their parents are affluent. They, one young lady, she had, I think a 34 on the ACT, a 35. I think the highest you can get is a 36. She had scholarships to go anywhere she wanted to go. She ended up going down to California. She wrote me a letter and told me, in the letter it said, "In the 2 years that I've been working out with you, you have reared me."
Yeah.
And so we built a special bond in a relationship. And then she didn't have those things. I mean, like I said, she came from an affluent family. She had a lot of things that was going on for her, but yet there was still something that was missing in her life that she needed, and she got that at Game Speed.
How real is that? Now, do you get those types, coach, that come to you? They've been around the block already. They might have made a team, a semi-professional team, an AAU team, any type of team, but they never really absorbed all of the great training they got from great people around them. And they come back to you for help, but they still talking and trying to talk over you, and you're telling them what they need to do. You ever run across that type of stuff?
Like I said, it's all kind of different scenarios.
All kind of things.
All kind of different scenarios that happen. I have a state champ. His name is Dimitri Keaton. He went to Shaker at first, and then he came over to me. At Shaker, he ran some decent times. He did some decent things. But Dimitri really needed some discipline. His father was in prison, and his father didn't get it.
So you're wearing many hats at the academy.
Absolutely.
Right here with Coach Antonio Coleman, Game Speed Performance Academy.
Yes, sir.
Now, before we had this little, quick breaky break, we were talking about student athletes and some of the great people that Coach Coleman has helped and impacted their lives, not just athletically, but helped them mature in the mind. Now, do their parents ever acknowledge that and come and thank you?
Yes, that's another gratifying thing as well, man. The parents are very appreciative of what they do with their children, because they get a sense of discipline. The first thing I always ask any kid when they come in contact with me is, do you aspire to greatness? Now, I didn't say aspire to greatness to your particular sport. I said, do you aspire to greatness? And if they say yes, then I'm going to teach you the principles and teach you the character that you need to have to become great at whatever you may do.
Yeah.
And so those are the things that I think that they appreciate, the parents do, because then they see that the kids change their mind. There was a young man, I can go story after story, but this young man, a white kid named Chase Pexinger, right? I didn't know it, but at the time his mother was about to send him to military school. She said he was just, he just wasn't disciplined. He wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. I met him when he was a freshman, and I told him exactly what he needed to do if he wanted to become great, because I asked that question, do you want to become great? He immediately went home, told his mother, I got to eat a certain way. I got to do this. I got to make sure. She said the boy started cleaning his room. I didn't tell him to clean his room, but he just started cleaning his room. He started doing what he was supposed to do, and then after that, he graduated from high school, went to Cincinnati on scholarship to run track. Now he's an engineer, got kids, and he's a wife and everything, and he lives down in Cincinnati.
Oh, now, Coach, you said you have children?
Yes, 2 boys.
2 boys. How old are they?
They're 13 and 14.
13 and 14. Now, do they aspire to be at your academy as well and be under the same tutelage and training?
Yes, I'm blessed in that sense, because a lot of coaches that have sons and things like that, their sons don't listen to them. They go listen to somebody else. And I know there's certain things that my son is going to listen to someone else other than me, but they do respect who I am, and they respect what I do, and they know that what I have done. Like I had told my son one time, I said, you want to be coached by somebody else? He said, you get all these other kids fast, you're going to get me fast too.
Now, how is that dynamic to have your young sons at the impressionable age that they are underneath you, man, and being able to absorb them same lessons that you've given these other young men?
My wife is right here in the audience. And so she says all the time, and I don't necessarily see it, but she sees it all the time. She says, your son wants to be just like you. That he's following your footsteps. He hears what you're saying, and he's trying to mimic what you're doing.
So your sons respect what you do. How real is that, man, for your seeds, your young men to be coming up and respect what you got going on, and you're giving them a way, a foundation, because, you know, you went the entrepreneur route. You went 14 years the route you went, and then you believed in yourself.
Yes, I believed in myself when nobody else believed in me.
And were they allowed? They were allowed to see that transition.
Absolutely.
So they've grown up into this.
Yes, they have.
Ha! That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
And they're watching right now because I'm building out a new facility, and they're helping me with that process, and they're watching it and seeing it. They're seeing all this.
Let's talk about that. Now, you used to be in the Word Church.
Yes, I was.
Now, you're not there because of unharmonious reasons. You're there because why? You're not there because why?
Because it was just time to move.
Why? You needed more space.
It was so many different dynamics of why that happened, and I'm going to say, but God.
Okay, I'm gonna try to fathom that one because we was around the house of the Lord, and everybody involved, the apostles, the prophets.
But it was growth.
And then
so to answer your question a bit, it was
Thank you, Coach.
it was this. Pastor came to me last year and said, I want you to start looking somewhere else because I'm thinking about doing something different over here in this space. And so that's when I started looking for different spaces.
You didn't take that negatively.
I didn't take that negatively at all. Because
How did you take it at the time?
at the time, honestly,
Yes.
I took it as a blessing.
Help me understand that, Coach.
And the reason why I took that as a blessing is because I always think of things spiritually, or you can look at it naturally. How does a bird fly? It got to be kicked out of the nest. If it would stay in the nest and never get out there and fly. And it would never spread its wings. So it has to be kicked out. So Pastor used to preach all the time. He said, listen, I want you to go back and thank your ex-girlfriend for breaking up with you because I would have never got married to this queen over here. So sometimes things when they're pushing you, so as soon as he said it, that, in my mind, I was thinking like, okay, where am I going to go? But then I said, if he's closing this door, he's going to open another door. And that's when I say, but God. And then when I tell you that the door started opening and the things started happening, and then when COVID happened, in my mind, I was like, man, how am I going to do this now? Income is not coming in, things are not happening, and then I have to say again, but God. And then it started happening. Windfall started coming from different places. People started having, like I said, CLE came in like an angel and started showing me how to put my documents and everything together, did back taxes and everything like that for me, and then made sure that I was in position to receive the SBA loans and to receive all those things, to receive the grants, to receive the money that I'm going to get from Jumpstart and all those things. It put me in those positions to receive that money and to be there. And then had people who were parents of kids that I trained saying, here go 10,000. And I'm doing that because I believe.
You were getting in kind donations from families?
I was getting kind donations.
Ain't nobody gonna give you no money if you didn't help the kid mature in some kind of way, form, or fashion. It's just not gonna happen. So if it don't work, that tells you right there the quality of a man that you're dealing with.
And that's exactly what they said, because I was like, I asked him why. They said flat out, it's your turn. You deserve it.
Yeah. So you're actively looking for a new space.
No, I found it.
You found it. T. It's done. I got it.
I'm building it out right now.
You building it out.
And so
you care to divulge the location?
Yes, it's in Solon. We're in Solon. I want to do the grand opening on the 22nd. Which is
August?
2 weeks around. Yeah, 2 weeks from now. But that all depends on when I'm going to get my turf in. And then also I got these special fans that are coming in. And these fans are not only going to, cool the place off, but it also, the fans helps with the purification of the air. And so it's going to help with airborne viruses. It's going to help out with mold. It's going to help out with all kind of things like that to make sure that my clients are safe, because that's my number one priority, is that my clients be safe. and I want to make sure that my clients are safe. And so I want to make sure, so I'm going to go ahead and flip the bill for that to make sure that I have my facility as safe as possible.
And of course, with everything going on, like the COVID, that made you put in place in your mind things to rein that in to where it doesn't affect your business dealings and dwelling.
Absolutely.
How much do you charge for training?
All right, it all depends on what you want to do. Say, for instance, I always start off people with 2 days a week. So I start you off with 2 days a week. So that's $200 for the month. All right, so then that's going to be 8 sessions for the month. And then as you go through that, and then I want to see how sore you're going to be. I want to see how you react to that. I want to see what your flexibility is, your coordination is, and then we may up that or we may take some away. But usually we'll up that to about 3 days a week, and 3 days a week it's $250, which is a better price per session with that, $250 for the month. But yeah, those are basically the prices that I have. Yeah.
Can you help with anything like regarding that speed?
Absolutely, that's what I do. That's my specialty. Yeah, I definitely can get you faster. And when I say faster, we just talked about that. That's multi-directional acceleration, meaning jumping, and also with linear speed. So with all those things, so basically, it's becoming a better athlete. When we talk about speed, I always tell people speed is strength, but strength is not necessarily speed. So when you have speed, you have the strength to become the best athlete on the court, on the field, or on the mat, or wherever it is that you are, because speed kills.
In this case, the court.
Oh yeah, or be the court. And so it was speed. I don't know if you know a young man. His name is Brandon Rush. And so Brandon Rush, I've been training him since he's been 11 years old.
Yeah, we hit
and everybody know what Brandon Rush is. He got a 44-inch vertical, and he didn't just get that. He didn't just pick that out. I trained his father as well. He didn't just pick that out the trash can. And that 44 came from me.
That's dope. Any more questions over here for the coach? So, coach, okay, all right. So, you found the place, and you're looking to do a grand opening real soon. Now, when it comes to speed training, you're saying there's so much involved. So are you giving these people meal plans and stuff like that, workout plans and stuff like that also?
Well, the workout plans, the program is what it is. You want to come in and you're going to get the coaching. And that's why I tell people, my program is not something where you come in and you pay a fee and then you're there. When you pay a fee, you're going to be coached the whole way while you're there, be it by me or one of my constituents.
Right.
But you're going to get trained the whole time. So you're going to be coached. So it's actually a private coaching institution. That's what you would call it. Because you're going to get private coaching, semi-private, or whatever it be, private groups or something like that. Okay? And so
meal plans, workout plans.
Right. And so the meal plans and things like that, I always tell people that I never try to put together a meal plan. The reason why I don't do that is because I don't know your palate. And so I can try to put a meal plan together for you, and you're going to follow it for maybe a couple of weeks, and then you're going to fall off.
Yeah,
so I tell people now what you need to do is we need to first find out what are you eating now. And so we find out what are you eating now, and then we kind of tweak what you're eating to things that's going to make you more energetic when you're actually working out and when you actually have to perform. So we're going to do the things that are natural, which it says in the Bible in Genesis, is that you would eat leafy green vegetables, the seed-bearing plant. We know we have to eat those things.
Leafy green vegetables?
Seed-bearing plants.
Seed-bearing plants. Okay.
You want to go ahead, you want to eat those things. All right? So you put those inside your body. We understand those give you life. But 9 chapters later, he gave you meat. So he said that you can eat any of the creepy crawly things on the earth, the things that fly, the things that are in the ocean. He said you can eat those things. But what we have done here in America is that we have put hormones and we have put all kind of different pesticides and things that are unnatural in it. And then now people want to become vegan because of the meats that we eat. But if you go ahead and patronize our local farms that have grass-fed beef, free-range chickens, and things like that, then we will still be able to eat the meat that we're supposed to and eat healthy meat. And so I tell people all the time, try to patronize your farms. You may pay a little bit more, but you're going to pay now or you're going to pay later.
Have you ever been into veganism and stuff like that?
I tried veganism, man, it was about 3 months, babe.
You tried for 3 months?
Yeah, it wasn't for me. It definitely ain't for me. And I tell any vegan right now, I'm 48 years old, and my wife has been married for 16 years. I haven't had any type of major sickness or whatever. I think maybe I had like the sniffles or something like that. But I don't get sick because I eat my fruits and vegetables plenty.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna eat me a hamburger.
Yeah.
You understand? I'm
Ah.
gonna eat me some chicken.
Okay.
I'm gonna eat me some fish.
We're entitled.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat all that.
Now, okay. So now, are you open to work with pro athletes? Maybe that get off track and they're trying to get back on with a team, get back on with a squad. Are you willing to work with those types, and have you worked with those types?
Yes, I have, and I'm only willing to work with the ones that are going to receive the discipline that I'm going to give them. Because a lot of times, you get some pro athletes, they think they all that, and they be kind of like some prima donnas sometimes or whatnot. And I ain't got no problem with them. They do their thing. But when you come inside game speed, you're under my tutelage. You're going to listen to me, and you're going to do what I ask you to do.
Oh, so that it suffice to say that sometimes those types come in and they begin to act like they know it all already.
Prima donnas?
Mm-hmm. That's what you meant by prima donna?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, okay, so let's fast forward to your students right now that you're working with right now.
Mm-hmm.
Any of them like you've been working with for quite some time now?
Yeah, I mean, I just named a few of them.
Okay.
Brandon still comes back and he works out with me. He's up in New Jersey, up at school right now. Like I said, Anaja Trotman, she's in school right now. I got 2 kids that are about to go to college and train. Going to be in college training and whatnot. I mean, constantly I have kids coming back and forth from college all the time.
And do you go to their events if they're still
Absolutely.
doing things? You still do
Absolutely.
that? That's the perks of it all. Hey, Coach, I need you out here with me. You was with me from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay. So now, what's your overall goal with game speed? Like, tell me its mission and like what it's about.
Oh yeah. So Game Speed Performance Academy. Like I said, I want to go ahead and get this build out and grow this company. I want to be able to be on the 4 corners of what I would call the metropolitan area. Like right now, I'm in the southeast side, but I also want to be on the northeast side. I want to be on the northwest side, and I want to be on the southwest side. And so I want to be on the 4 corners. I want to make sure that I'm able to service people from everywhere, because I get Instagram messages all the time, things like that. When you going to come this way, Coach? When you going to come this way? So I want to be able to build out and then start training people with the philosophy of Game Speed Performance Academy and be able to be in the 4 corners. And then from there, the sky's the limit.
Well,
Then
let me
go to other cities.
Okay, well, let me ask you a real question with that, because we only maturing. We're not getting younger. And it's always a young man's game when it comes to sport and training. Mm-hmm. So, how do you see the business growing and developing into the future as we grow to mature and get older?
It's all delegation. You have to delegate. You have to train up people that have the same type of passion and the heart that you have. And they may not do exactly the way that you do it, but the main thing is that they have to have the passion and the heart. If they have the passion and heart, then I'm going to be willing to teach them, and they take it in, and then they're going to be able to spread it. So it's not going to even be about me. It's not about Antonio Coleman. It's about Game Speed Performance Academy and how that can help as many young people as possible.
Yeah. So what's some of the criteria you're looking at in a young man or young woman to work with? Like, what type of person are you looking for?
I'm looking for somebody who's loyal, who's committed, that has integrity, have character, that's respectful, and have honor for themselves. Because you can't honor anybody else unless you have honor for yourself.
Oh! Any events, real quick? Any events coming up at Game Speed?
Just getting ready for this grand opening. Just trying to get ready for the grand opening. Once that happens, we're going to have all kind of events. We're going to have something that's called Friday Night Lights. That's going to be happening on Friday nights with the kids. And we're going to see who's the fastest in the city. And so we're going to be doing a 40. We got a 40 automatic timing system. It's going to come up right up on the wall. You're going to be able to see
Who's the fastest in the city?
Who's
You're
the
going to have
fastest
that?
in the city?
Yeah, y'all hear that? Who's the fastest in the city?
Yep.
That's about to go down at Game Speed Performance Academy. Hey, Coach, I want to thank you for coming out. I really appreciate it, man. And good luck at the academy. All you student athletes out there, no excuses now. You know where you can go to get trained up. Playa T, that's me, Hollywood in the Hood.
Weathered the storm, young legend was born. I wouldn't conform, I chose to train.